And we are live. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Ah, crap. Brand. I'm sorry about this, everybody. We just our main producer is having a computer situation, but here we go now. Greetings and salutations, Focus Up family. Welcome to the May 4th, 2024 installment of the Focus Up Show. We thank you for tuning in with us live every Saturday at 9 a.m. on YouTube and various other platforms, or catching up with us on a replay. And we ask that you click that like, that subscribe, that bell, and share to support and maintain your weekly Focus Up fix. I am Mr. Nice Guy, nice as in the word saint spelled backwards. And today, my co-hosts are, we got the lovely First Lady J, we got Brother Vic, we got Mr. Floyd X, who's having some computer difficulties, so we apologize for the not so smooth intro into the store, and somehow
Man,
somehow we lost a Brother Student X. So there you go, Brother Student X. Uh, Let me just do some shuffling so I know where to look. There we go. How you doing there, First Lady J?
I'm well, thank you. Hope you fellas are well too.
Student X, what's going on with you? Why you Student
Man,
X today?
man, doing great, brothers and sisters. Thank you for allowing me to be on the show. And the student part is being in solidarity with the students with protests across the nation, and we'll get into that later on.
Oh yes, and let me see something. I see we got something displaying that I need to take off. So, give me one moment. Booyah! All right, and Brother Vic, how you doing there?
Hey,
Welcome
good
back.
morning. Good morning, Lady J. Good morning, brothers. Definitely um, looking forward to having a conversation today, and thank you for inviting me again.
That's right. Now we're missing two people. We knew we were gonna be without El Poo. So we shout out to our brother. He's got stuff to do, and that's why there's not gonna be any spin that back. But what we do when there's not gonna be any spin that back, we're gonna do our political show with our brother Student X, and we got a new name for it. What's the new name for the show, brother Student X?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're doing just a new play on things, and we're going to see how people respond to it. But we're calling it Right of Center Mutant Politics.
So we're gonna go in on that show. We're not really allowed to go in this show, right, First Lady? She doesn't like it when we do that. But First Lady ain't on that show, and we're gonna go nuts. So that's what's gonna happen. And then we got Mr. Floyd X, who's having some technical difficulty. Normally we lean on him.
yeah,
Oh,
there's some BS over here, man. Come on, man. I'm ready to go talk about this rap wars and talk about the political stuff. Ready to get into the business. Come on, man. Let's go. Let's go. I'm here.
all right, let's get to the get. Let's start it up. Let's get it. What do we have up first, First Lady J?
First up in the news, we have Darvin Ham got hammed. The Lakers fired head coach
Wow.
Darvin Ham after just 2 seasons at the helm of Friday morning. A decision that seemed unlikely just a year ago, but inevitable after how the Lakers' 2023-24 season transpired. Lakers season ended with their Game 5 loss to the Denver Nuggets in a first round playoff series Monday night at Ball Arena. The Lakers led the defending champion Nuggets for long stretches of that series, but Nikola Jokic and his teammates eventually rode into the second round with a series of comeback wins.
That's Joker. But
Nikolai
yeah,
Jokic.
yeah, Nikolai Jokic. To me, I understand that Ham had some deficiencies, maybe some things about rotations, maybe some things about timeouts, but I feel like he was improving. I think this is an absolute circus for them to fire this guy after 2 years, knowing that what I saw on the floor. I saw players ball watching. I saw players, not running to cover people. The coach is not on the floor doing that, and I'm pretty sure he's telling you all of these things. They act like they didn't like accountability. I read somewhere where they were complaining that they were complaining that the coach is not taking any responsibility for this stuff, and I'm like, as a man, I'm not worried about the next person's taking responsibility. If what I did had an impact and was enough to change the result, I'm just focusing on what I did. And I'm just saying, I felt like it was a bunch of spoiled brats, millionaires complaining about a dude who held them to a tough standard, and they basically just got their way. I mean, I definitely think that another coach might have been able to push them over the top, but I also think them just digging in and playing hard would have pushed them over the top. So that's why I'm really not a fan of this. This looked like a circus. If you fire somebody, make sure you got the next person lined up. We'll see who they get. Anybody else got something to say about this?
Well, yeah, I'm a Laker fan. I was gonna see if anyone else has something to say about it, and I'm disappointed because I believe Ham was doing a very good job in that coaching position. I liked him, prior to him even coming to the coaching ranks as a player. Although he never was a superstar, but he was known for vicious dunks. Back in college, and even when he came into the NBA, I thought he did a really good job. And this really just speaks to, at the end of the day, as much as I hate to say it, but Bron. Bron. He's supposed to be the GOAT. I believe he's the GOAT. At the end of the day, and this team, it wasn't the coach's fault why they didn't win. I believe LeBron and AD, they did enough, but the supporting cast, wasn't consistent and did not do enough. And simultaneously, it's who are they going to get now? At the end of the day, I'm hearing names like Budenhauser, JJ Redick. And this is JJ like, man, come on, man, for real. Hammond was doing a good job. We were never going to beat Denver. Denver's a better team. When they had picked up Aaron Gordon, the previous season, I already knew that they were going to be the best team in the league, and they continue to prove that. Their lineup is better, and they were a better team, and that's why they lost at the end of the day.
They were better at the end of the game, but like First Lady J said, they were leading that series for predominantly most of the time in the game. But go ahead, go. I was about to say, Vic.
Yeah, I was going to speak. Generally speaking, and I'm not a Lakers fan. I think for any coach of at any level or sport, you can't really say or really think that within 2 years you can put your really like your imprint on that team. It takes more than 2 years, in my opinion. Case in point, if you remember the Cowboys in the 90s, you had Jimmy Johnson build the team, and then Barry Switzer came in after he was fired and then won the championship. Was that really due to Barry Switzer, or was it because Jimmy Johnson had built the team? You can walk into a situation, maybe have some success, but I think in this case, the coach just really didn't get the opportunity to put his stamp on the organization. I would say it probably takes about good 4 to 5 years. But at the pro level, you're really not given that opportunity to do that from a coaching standpoint. So that's my thoughts in regards to that.
Is that something you want to tie it up with, Mr. Floyd X?
Yes, man. Lakers all day, every day. Go Lakers. I know they lost, but hey, we'll be back next year. Let's put this glorious picture up there one more time. The Lake Show. He will be back next year. And then since our brother El Poo not here, we're just going to leave it on this note.
Ouch. What we got up next, First Lady J?
Next, we have Drake and Kendrick Lamar are still going tit for tat, bar for bar, after both artists released diss tracks within minutes of each other overnight. Their weeks-long beef has escalated dramatically and become increasingly personal, with both rappers now taking aim at each other's family. What began as an aside on a completely unrelated song has now spiraled into several tracks, a cease and desist, and mounting allegations lobby back and forth. Oh, and it's also brought some newfound popularity to Chinese restaurant New Ho King in downtown Chinatown after being name dropped in one of Lamar's tracks.
Well, I know Floyd X wants to start off talking about this. This is his baby.
Rap Wars. Rap Wars. This is what I live for. Kendrick Lamar coming with the heat. Drake coming with the heat. I live for this. I said, oh, they going head up? Let's go. Mr. J. Cole, he dropped out of the race. He dropped, so he's no longer considered part of the big three. He's just the guy on the sidelines, with all due respect. I think he's a great rapper, but he stepped aside to let the top two go head to head, and I'm loving what I'm seeing. The music is wonderful. That's what I wanted to hear. Some good ass music. 6 minute long songs. They all got a lot to say. When when Kendrick came with that Euphoria, oh my God, he was killing it. It just went on and just dropping. And Drake dropped that other one, The Family Matters. Another banger, another banger, another banger, straight up. And then he dropped that 616. And then it was something else. Oh no, he dropped 616 yesterday. And then Drake came with the other one. Then he dropped the Family Matters. That's Drake. See, I'm getting confused because it's happening too fast. It's happening too fast, and my brain's all over the place. But the
Yeah,
chunk,
after that Euphoria, Born the Law had posted. He said, "What Kendrick is doing in the battle is like watching Floyd Mayweather fight. He's winning, but it's not exciting to watch, or in this case, listen to." I mean, and I think that was a fair assessment. I know that you feel in the music of it, but I felt it was a lot of blah. I mean, I felt like Rick Ross had like the greatest song up until that point, but after hearing Meet the Grams is a killer song. It's a dope song. It sounds like something from our era. And I mean the lyrics are visceral and nasty and probably a little bit too personal for my taste, but I mean he really punishes this cat. So I mean to me I don't know how he comes back from this. This like I said, this is gonna be on his permanent record. But he's about to pass it off to you, brother Student X. What were you about to say?
well, the Student X.
Yeah, no, but I just been enjoying, really the commentary more than anything because I have to admit I really haven't been following it much. With there's just so much that's going on, today and just in my own personal career, I just haven't been really focused on it. But then as I was redirected, to this situation, then it was something that clearly, was an issue. You know what I mean? It's been something that's it's very interesting, to just follow, at the end of the day. But the song that Meet the Grams, it did remind me of Exhibit, the Foundation, back in the day. Where he just started off, just dealing with the role of the father, in general. So it just kind of reminisce, to that a little bit, for me.
Yeah, it was very clever. Somehow he came in a very loving way that did a lot of damage. He was very loving unto the children, but it was a setup for being very non-lovely to Mr. Drake.
Right,
You
no
got you got
doubt.
you got something to say about this, brother Vic?
Yeah, this is like a one of those things in hip hop culture. We see battles, and Kendrick actually had more to lose in this versus Drake, and I'll tell you why. Because of the fact that Kendrick is like this generation's, in my opinion, like they're Nas, or at least they're super lyricists, and Drake has shown that like when he went against Meek Mills, he was able to win that battle, so to say. So Kendrick really had to come out swinging because Drake has surprised people, but then on top of it, there's also the question as to like how much as a rapper is he actually putting these bars together, these ghost written. Kendrick doesn't have that stigma over him. So, but as we know in the pantheon of hip hop, we've seen it with LL Cool J, with Kool Moe Dee, LL Cool J with Ice T. We saw BDP going out with Shan, Ice Cube and NWA, Tupac, and Biggie, Nas, Jay-Z. So I love that aspect, but when you start bringing in like the children or making it personal, then it becomes something different. It can become actually something dangerous. And so I'm just keeping my eye on that aspect, so to say.
That's what's up. Anything you want to tie it up with, Mr. Floyd X?
I just want to say, may the best man win. I'm rooting for both of them. I just want to hear the good music, man, and I hope it don't get personal, also, and I hope they just keep coming with it. On and it's like the next thing that has to happen, they have to have a versus.
Mm.
Just bring your catalog and go head to head, because I know Drake got an extensive catalog. Kendrick Lamar got an extensive catalog. Just go head to head and just wrap it up there.
Yeah, I'll second that.
So
All right, First Lady, what we have next after that?
that's it.
That's all you got?
Yeah, college protest next, right?
The college protest, yeah. You want to do like a quick little setup of what's going on there? We're gonna really deep dive in on mutant politics, but student X, you want to just kind of describe basically what's been happening over the nation with these college protests?
Sure, brother. You know, the basic thing is that, you know, these students, mainly those who are more, I would say, liberal, you know, and lean a lot more left, but they have decided to condemn, you know, the genocide that's taken place, you know, inside of Israel. And, you know, their position has been, hey, this is genocide. We don't like our government, nor our universities supporting the state of Israel financially, and we want them to divest, you know, from, these efforts, you know, and that's what it's been all about. But, you know, ironically, if you will, they've been met with a lot of violence and brutality, you know, for taking this position. And everyone who knows me knows I'm not on the left, you know, at all. You know, there's the policy differences, you know, I just don't align with the ideology. But, you know, in regards to these students, you know, and this position they're taking, you know, I am anti-war, you know, I am for nuclear disarmament, you know, I am for peace, you know, so how can I be against these students on this position? And so, you know, I like to just applaud, you know, what it is that they're doing. And I stand with them. And I think everyone in regards, you know, to have any part to do with the anti-war movement, you should be supporting these students.
Mr. Tony Boyd is a very interesting comment. He says, "Is a peaceful protest effective?" I would say that all you need to look at is Dr. Martin Luther King. I mean, you know, you could say that there was something violent that happened, but what was violent was happening to him as opposed to what he was doing. So I definitely think that is a weapon in the tool shed, because that's going to be the thing that garners you sympathy. It's hard to feel really bad about someone who's just being pummeled and victimized, and all they're doing is basically just saying that, hey, you know, what's going on is wrong. If you have any decency about you. If you're just a monster, then you don't care and you like bad things to happen. But I do think that it is a useful weapon in certain circumstances.
So from what I understand, particularly at UCLA, the protesters was protesting the war in Iran, and then the protesters that was on the Jewish side came up there and starting to fight with them, right? And they're going back and forth. This is from what I'm understanding. The valedictorian of UCLA, I'm talking about UCLA particularly. The valedictorian, who won. She was a what do you call him? Damn, I lost my thought.
Now,
She's from the Middle East. She's a Palestinian, and they didn't want her to speak.
I thought that was USC.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, it was USC. Yeah, UCLA thinks it's very offensive when you equate them to USC.
Okay.
Well, no, UCLA definitely had, you know, I think he's
that
right.
Was the dust up. It was the dust up, but the
major
valedictorian speaker
Right.
speaker, I think that was the USC
There you
aspect. But as far as the big dust up
Right.
happened, that did happen at UCLA.
Okay.
And
Right.
you know.
Well, I mean, the bottom line is, man, I think people should be allowed to protest. There's no way that the Jewish side or the I don't even know what they call themselves. I know it's the Palestinian. What's the other side? The Israeli side or the protesters that came up there? Who are they?
Pro-Israel. I say pro-Israel.
Okay, the pro-Israel protesters coming up there to try to shut it down because they did not want to hear her speak, because they must be assuming that she's going to say something in solidarity with the Palestinians. But I mean, you should have a right. And if the brother's asking, is a peaceful protest effective? I would say to a degree, it is effective. It gets the message out there. It gets people talking about it. And I mean, you're going to go out there in peace, but if war come your way, you better be ready for it. Somebody bringing sticks out there to shut you up, you better be ready to fight them.
And it has absolutely worked in some of these college situations. There have been some protests where they made demands and the administration capitulated. So they actually succeeded. They told them what they wanted to do and they actually agreed to it and did it. So it absolutely has worked peacefully. So that's definitely something in the pocket. And we should stress that you got to understand there's a lot of people that are pro-Israel that don't are okay. They're not okay what's going on in Gaza. So there's a lot of people that are still protesting what Netanyahu. I apologize if I'm not saying his name right. There's a lot of people physically over there in Israel that are protesting what their government is doing. Just like people over here, we protest a lot of things that our government does. So it's not just a black or white issue about who is on what side or the other side. I would tend to think that there's no question that the civilians in Gaza being killed like they are, there's just absolutely no excuse for it. It's just that's it. You can't dance around it. You can't pretty up. What's happening to them is an absolute travesty.
Right.
And check this out. I know El Poo ain't sitting over here talking about where is Walk. Yeah, where is Walk? We like to know. We're gonna be checking a few milk cartons in a little bit, but is that all we want to say about this on this show? Because we're gonna deep dive on the next show.
Yes, sir.
Oh, what show are you talking about?
That show that we're talking about Right of Center.
Sunday school on a Saturday with the student X and Mr. Nice Guy. Tune in.
Victor. So yeah,
and Victor, Mr. Vigilante, gonna be down there too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
We'll do it like we did last time.
10:30 a.m.
Yeah. The only thing I would add is that you have atrocities that occur on both sides, and as an outsider at this, we're talking about a 2,000-year conflict. So this is a highly charged situation is a severe understatement. I think for me, in trying to understand, especially since I have friends who are Palestinian as well as Jewish, and understanding how they are looking at it, you can see both sides of the coin. And with these college protests, I remember when I was in college. That's a time in life where you really want to start like finding out about yourself and feeling as if the things that you're doing, especially as a young person, is meaningful. So I like that, but I think there's also something to be said about or some of these college protesters, are they really aware of the history? And if they are, I think that's where the conflict really can become combative from that standpoint. And to really not to be Palestinian or to be Jewish, I don't know if we really have the full gravity of just of just how it means to each side of this argument.
And Tony Boy, this is a very good comment here. He says this is collective punishment to the 29th power. And to me, I interpret that as saying that in response to what Hamas did on October, October 6th?
Yes.
That, where I would say that was an egregious attack on Israel, and their response to it has probably been overkill. But, I will say this, I am a type of person that, war, I believe in 0-10. I prefer to avoid conflict however it can be, but when it can be, I'm going to the max. And but I just couldn't justify doing what they're doing, and I don't think it's productive. I think that you're turning the world against you. You're turning. There's a lot of people that were already against you, but you're turning more people against you, and I don't think that helps you. You're creating more of the people that you're trying to defeat day after day. So but we'll deep dive into that on Mutant Politics. And I think we got one more last thing. Wait a second. We got another comment. Let's see. Hopefully I don't get punished for putting this out there. Do you really think protests demanding colleges to not support companies that are against whichever protest views work? Well, I mean, they're begging for money. I mean, it takes money to do stuff. And usually I always say if you hurt somebody in their pocket, that's gonna be probably your best way to motivate people to do something. I mean, that's just how it is. It takes money to do things. Money is power. And when you start messing with person's money, that gets you motivation to act right. It took about $500 million for Trump to finally get it that he needs to stop talking about E. Jean Carroll. So money matters.
So if I could respond to that just real briefly, and I would say that to protest is the most American thing that you could possibly do. That's what the freedom of speech is, like the number one, right, if you will, that we have here in this country. And so, the question of does it really work or not, it's debatable, but you got to look at the objectives of the protest. And part of the objective is to bring awareness, to others, and also, you're making a statement, to the world, that, there is a group and there are people here, in this country that are opposed, to what this government is doing in our names. And so, does it work, and will they ultimately have the success in terms of turning the country and these politicians around? That may not happen, but there definitely are objectives that are being, achieved in this effort.
Amen to that. So you got something else about this first lady, or you got one more last? Actually, I guess you don't have any more information, and I think this is where we get to talking about the draft, right? Okay, so Tony Boy, this is not a war; it's genocide. Yeah, that's the thing about it. That's the overkill. That's to the 29th power. They're basically in their haste to exterminate Hamas. They're trying to throw out the baby with the bathwater and take out everybody. So and we have their sister Nicolette Freeman. They're talking about the this is basically biblical times continue to play out, and that's really the big conflict in a lot of this because I'm sensitive to the concept of Israel because, I don't really put this out there, but I am a Hebrew Israelite by culture and by religion. I have family that are actually Jewish as well. But again, that doesn't skew my concept of the basic responsibility of humanity. And I understand that, these people, it's just a messy situation. The people that are civilians that get caught up in this, they're victims, period. And that's all I'm trying to lean into. Those people are victims, and those people need to be cared for. So, was that the noise of maybe somebody coming in here? Oh, we got some of
We
it.
got a guest in the building. Let's see what this brother want to speak on.
Mad Loke, let me run. Let me tuck my chain. Hold up a second. What's going on with you, brother?
The business with the business.
My brother.
Shut up.
What you want to speak on, brother Mad Loke?
Man, shit, I'm just tapping in with my people, man. See what's going on, man.
All right. Well, we talking about the college protest. We highlighted the rap war. We talked about the Lakers, and was about to get into NFL draft day and how people were saying, man, a lot of these brothers got a white girl on their side. Are they gonna in the words of Dr. Umar, the money is going to be redirected to the Caucasian side of the game? What's y'all? Anybody want to speak on that? The NFL draft day.
So this was Walk's baby. We really wanted to let him to set the table for this, but I mean there is a trend that we see. I know that there's a picture of the Eagles players, their wives, or something like that, and I mean it's like just pretty much like all white people. So it makes you wonder how these people get into these situations of making a whole lot of money, a lot of fame, and this is where they end up. But not to be throwing our beautiful black women under the bus, but one of the TikTok questions that we're going to be dealing with a little bit later is, do women need men? And, I probably argue that all these guys that are choosing these white women, they're probably choosing white women that feel that they need men. So, there might be something there.
Is it really something new? I mean, we have seen the trend of this, for some time, dating back to when I started paying attention to the NFL draft itself. I think that the question becomes, and I think we are kind of exploring it as to why it is occurring. You know, why you're not seeing more of these young black athletes with our sisters. I think there's something to be said with that. Um, in regards to whatever experience they may have had. Could it be self-hate, or is it just generally just like they are
I
finding
think it's
love?
access, brother. It's about access. The
About
sisters don't
access.
have access to that side of the game. These dudes are in these colleges, and I mean maybe a lot of sisters not going there. They not at the college or something because
No,
every time you look up, they got
no, they're there.
Caucasian on their
They're there.
side.
They're there. I promise you. Sister girls are definitely in college, and they are participating.
They're for sure there.
I played college football. I got a brother here on the line here. My brother Daiquiri. We both played college ball. Now,
Did you have a white girl at college, or did you have a sister?
I had a sister. I had a
All
sister.
right.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely had a sister. Yeah, I definitely
Everybody
had a
on your
sister.
team did
Now,
most of the
I
people.
wasn't getting recruited for the NFL. I wasn't getting recruited, but you speak to something in terms of access, with
Okay.
being a college athlete, and then the notoriety that kind of comes along with it. You are getting at that time the newspaper. You do have
So
you do have like certain exposure to things, and that gives you more access to people. I think though you have to be deliberate.
Did your teammates have white girls or did they have sisters? What was the norm?
Amongst my friends, we were with sisters. We were sisters and brown women in general. Honestly, we were. I mean, and then those who weren't, I could say in those cases, it just happened to work out. They weren't deliberately going after a white woman. But now I'm talking 90s here, and and it may seem like there's an uptick, but I think by and large, if you look at a roster of 53 players, and we'll say like 40 of those are black men, I would have to believe that the majority of those brothers are with sisters or women with color. But it just really kind of seems highlighted when it's like maybe like 10 of them are with white women, and you may look at that as to why is that happen, and you spoke to that. It's just
Karis must
access.
say, why
It's
is
access.
that?
I want to know
why is that?
What does the Mad Loke have to say about this?
Yes, let's go, Mad Loke. Speak on it, Mad Loke.
You know, I'm very ecstatic that you would defer to me and on this question right here, because I have a few thoughts on it. And I seen something on social media, and I wanted to hear the perspective of the group, especially my beloved brother Charles X. That's my dude, man. But what I seen on social media was this. It said, as far as that phenomenon is happening with the Caucasian women and the black women, the person said most black women are already made man. They're not willing to work with him through those stages for him to get there. Whereas the Caucasian woman is willing to be with him when he's trying out for the team, when he's training, when he's conditioning. They already want you to have arrived. You know what I mean? So, and I looked at that and just I think that's the society and the culture change that has come up as of late with the music and the media, that you got to be this, you got to be that. We're not taking no scrubs. I got to have a baller or whatnot. So nobody that's working towards getting that will have that, where the people that have already arrived will have those women, but these other females are willing to go through the scrapes and the bruises and to get there with them. And that's why they settle on those people. And last point, I don't know who it was, but it's the NBA, a guy, he plays in the NBA. He was playing in the D League, and his woman was black woman. She was holding down D League and whatnot. And sometimes she had to pay the stuff off for him. And he's working a part-time job while he's playing the D League.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And then he signed like a $30 million contract. He got picked up with the pro. And the first thing he did was bought her a ring, and he married her because she was there with him through his struggles and didn't give up. Where some people, I'm not gonna say most, because I'm not a white supremacist in black skin. Where some people would have been like, man, this nigga not getting it together, whatnot, I'm gone. So I wanted to know the group's perspective on that. Are black women willing to struggle and be on that? And I know they are, but the times and the society and what we live in, and I know there's a woman on here right now, to probably just to speak on that fact.
Yeah,
First lady, the floor
I
is
don't
yours.
believe-
First lady,
First lady,
first
the
lady.
floor
We're
is
gonna
yours.
let,
Okay.
So, first lady, we do understand that it's not just a function of what you don't just speak for yourself, but also tell us what you think about the females that you interact. Do you think about their mentality tends that you see?
Oh, now you're really putting me on the spot because I'm gonna be upfront and honest. She's that's like the catch-22 right there because I see the both sides with the women that I associate myself with. So I was hoping that you guys did not say don't speak for yourself because in all reality, I can only speak for myself. I am that one black female that I know for sure that will rock with you from the bottom to the top. Through I can stand the rain. I will stand through the storm. I will be there with you to uplift you. Do I have some friends or associates that are the same way? Yes. And I also have some that want you to already come fully prepared. There's no doubt about that. I'm just not that person. But I'm not a man, nor am I a white woman, so I don't know why the men are going towards the white women. But I know
Great way to flip it. Great way to flip it. She passed the buck.
I'm just being honest. I'm not a man, so I do not know why these brothers. I see 5 brothers on this screen, so I don't know why they are going to the white women. I don't feel like the white women are no better than I am. We bleed the same color blood at the end of the day. I know what I can bring to the table. I know what I'm there for, man. Some of my friends, yes, they're there. Some of them, I'm being honest, and I might hear about it later. They're not for it. They want you to already come with your 6 figures and prepared. They're not settling for anything less. That's not me.
Let's defer that question since you asked and you don't know why. Let's defer that question to the male advocate, student X, brother. What you think about that? Why are these black men choosing these white women over the sisters?
God bless the memory of Kevin Samuels. All right.
Hey, bro, you already know I'm about to invoke, our brother, Kevin Samuels, but let me say this. I mean, I'm not going to demonize any man for whom he chooses as a mate. If he's if he most of the men have options, today, and so if he ultimately decided that, that the woman who happened to be white, was of his best interest of all the people he had within his choices to make, and then so be it. Men, we choose who we marry. Men or women choose who they have sex with. That's how the game rocks and whatnot. But in terms of just going, in on the subject, a lot I believe has to do with just culture in general, and consciousness. If you're a brother and you're not really focused on some of the politically charged topics that exist inside the world, and lifting collectively, the black nation, if you will, so-called black nation, up, then you have other options on the table just solely beyond, just a black female, and then our sisters, oftentimes, there is a culture that does exist right now that's been promoted for a long, long time, in terms of, what they deem to be important, and what it is that they're trying to find. And then, of course, there's various trauma, that, sisters, is coming with, just being in this world that we're in, and some of our upbringings and whatnot, so ultimately I just think, that the men are just, looking at the options that they have. They're looking for someone who is fit, feminine, friendly, someone who's going to be supportive, that they could trust, what I mean? And if that ends up, being a white woman for them, and then, so be it. It is what it is, what I mean? But I don't think there's effort to where the brothers, are making a commitment from the gate to say, hey, look, I'm looking to marry and be with a white woman. I don't think that's how it's going. They're looking for certain attributes that exist in the women, and among them, and Kevin Samuels, he definitely, really brought this topic to the forefront is men, women who are fit, friendly, feminine, someone they could get along with that would be supportive, and that's what it's about.
Brother Vic, you was about to say something?
Yeah, I take the position from the standpoint of I think with some brothers, white women can be a symbol of status and success, and also what we've been talking in terms of access itself. Most of the guys, and again, I'm talking just from my time as a college athlete, I know like we were deliberate about going out and dating sisters. And then on top of that, I think we've all seen in our communities, whether it's been our mothers, whether it's been our aunts, sisters, cousins, we've seen, women really hold down, Black women specifically, our men as well. So to simply say that I can't agree with the fact that, Black women are not going to be with us as Black men when we're down, because, I've been a person, with the Black woman who held me down when I didn't have a whole lot. And so I know that actually goes on. I think it's something for some men, some Black men, that it becomes an access thing. It becomes a thing where they're able to break down that taboo barrier and be able to have like a certain status amongst themselves subconsciously, which actually makes them pursue these women. But to say, in my experience, by and large, I've seen Black women with Black men, at the lowest common denominator.
That Black woman held Kanye down, and now he's with
absolutely,
and he's
absolutely.
replaced her with three different white people. So it happens.
Yeah, so it does happen. You're going to have trifling people. You're going to have trifling women. You're going to have trifling men. I mean, that's going to happen.
Now,
but I would never
Mr.
generalize.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Freeman. Look,
yeah, sure.
What has to happen? We have to be more intentional. We have to point out that it's important.
I'm not hearing you, brother.
With Black people, we gotta be intentional about that part.
The question is about being intentional. Was that the question?
You were kind of breaking up, Brother Floyd.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying that
it was almost.
Okay.
So, but it sounds like what I'm gonna interpret what you're saying. You said that we need. Yeah, we can hear you. What you're just saying that we need to basically kind of be demanding, or at least laying down our expectations and pursuing those. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but I think sure, definitely. I think we should be intentional. Like, let's put it at the most common denominator. You walk into a room, there's 100 of us, right? There's 100. We'll call it 50 Black women. We'll call it not even 50 Black women. We'll call it 100 people, diverse people. There's 20 Black women, 20 Black guys, 20 white women, 20 Latino women, and then a whole bunch of others. I know for me, if I'm walking in that room as a single person, I'm eyeing all the Black women. I am. That's so there's that intentionality. But there may be another brother that walks into that room and he's eyeing all the 20 white women. Where does that actually come from? And I think for some of these men, it's a symbol of status, access, and the fact that they can obtain something that society says, like, okay, you made it and you're successful. Whereas for some of us, it's just a natural instinct. I'm going to gravitate to somebody that I have a certain attraction to. My attraction naturally is always going to be to, a sister or a woman of color, just in general. That's just me.
Hey, so just to kind of wrap this up, I'll say that I remember in high school, I went to a black high school. I mean, there were white people there and stuff like that. But I'm just saying that the circle of people that I dealt with were black. And I remember, I don't know if I want to put his name out there, but a very dear friend of mine and a dear friend of the Focus Up Network. I remember he found himself in a white environment. And let's just say that he was exposed to a willingness and a friendliness that existed there that just absolutely didn't exist in our regular black circles. So, I do think there's a function of you talk about some people going for the status, but I remember when I was DJing up at what's the Irish pub? I forgot. It was Dublin's. Okay, for the most of the part, I was just a setup person that was setting up for the female DJ that I was working with. But I remember I'd be sitting there waiting for her to finish her sets, and I might just go to a table and lay my head down, and white women would just come up to me and just be all extra nice and hey, such and blah 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 stuff like that. And the sisters, that just never happened. So it's just a different type of a situation. So I also think that it's just there's just a pathway, a willingness to do things and that these people see. But again, But again, that's not to me. I'd say that look, push through that, fight through that. Black families, strong, whatever. But I also I'm the from the Student X brother saying that look, you love who you love. I'm not trying to be discouraging anybody to do what you do. Your life is your life to make your decisions. And at the end of the day, we're all human beings. But
I have a quick question. I mean, there's 5 men, on this panel. I don't know, how comfortable you all feel, but how many of us have dated a white woman?
I was about to ask that, Charles. I was about to say that.
You know what I mean? And I've been married 27 years now. You know what I mean? Let me say that. You know what I mean? But
let me see if this works. No, just kidding.
You was about to show us the slideshow of your white women?
Yeah, nah, I have not. I never had any relationship like an actual, with a white person. I'm talking about a substantive actual relationship. So if that's what you're talking about.
I have an answer. I'll just wait for everybody else to answer.
Yeah.
Real quick, we got the brother say. Real quick, we got the brother say. Mr. Nice Guy.
Hey, Born Alive. I'm just telling you, there's just things that you have to fight for that I shouldn't say this. There's things that you might have to fight for to get a sister to do that you don't have to with a white woman in general. I understand that there's exceptions and that not everybody's like that, First Lady. So
there is a follow-up question I had with that too. That's why I wanted to see, how many of us actually have dated, if you will.
Let me answer. I never dated a white woman. When I say date, I mean like go out and walk around like that's my woman. I've never done that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What he just said, that's
okay. If that's the definition, yeah. I mean, it's different definitions. You know what I mean? Dated. There's a lot of implications and whatnot. But brother Cryptavius, over there, he had his hands up. So what was it that appealed to you? As a strong brother, to go ahead, and date a white woman.
Okay, now it's different definitions of what dating is and hanging out,
right?
Picking it, right?
Right.
Me personally, I'm an equal opportunity humper, so I'm gonna do what I do with whoever. But I'm gonna say this, and I've said this to my bro. I said, for me to deal with a white woman, she got to damn near be throwing it at me. It's not gonna be no. I can't put no effort into it. She gotta be like them women that was walking up to you when your head was on that table. I'm not gonna do nothing. You got to damn near, and I'll be like, and then if I do decide to do it, then I'm gonna take out my frustration and anger from our 400 years of oppression on her.
Wait a second.
Oh gosh.
Hey, but quick before somebody goes sex, another incident happened to me at Dublin's while I was leaving. Like literally, some white woman just looked at me and she goes, "What would you do if I told you I just want to take you home and F this out of you?" You know what I'm saying? And that just blew my mind that a stranger just would walk up and say that to another stranger. Now, of course, I'm loading up and leaving all this stuff. None of that stuff's gonna happen, but it was a culture shock. You know what I'm saying? So they just different. But
All right.
I didn't mean to step on whoever else had something to say about that. Wait, we asked all the questions. So Vic, did you what was your answer to the dating white women?
No, he said no. He said no.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
And what about
yeah.
and what did you
What's the
say?
follow-up
Student
question?
X?
He said he got a follow-up.
I didn't have a follow-up
No,
question.
brother,
But that was me. I had to follow up, and that was the follow up in terms of those that have dated white women. What was it? You know what I mean? That had you lean that way. You know what I mean? And for myself, a similar response and whatnot. You know what I mean? But then I would add that it had to be a true 9, 10. Maybe an 8. You know what I mean? If I was gonna go that direction, it can't be average. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let me say that.
Bad.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But just real quick too, we haven't did commercials yet too. So I saw La Brea was on the stream and whatnot. So I don't know we're gonna do commercials still.
We can run them commercial. We can run them. We
We should probably do it quick because we didn't even get into the topic.
Yeah.
We made a topic out of this.
All right. Let our brother start off with our brother. What the hell is that? La Brea Trucking, for all of your trucking needs, cross country. That brother delivers. He'll pick it up. He'll deliver it. Hit him up. Y'all saw the number at the end of the commercial. Right. The spin that back. Saturdays at 10:30. Check them out. Not this Saturday though. We got Sunday school on the Saturday today, but normally Saturdays at 10:30 we got spin that back. Old school hip hop. What'd you say, from 79 to 89 or
79 to 99 is the spin that back. And this is the recorded era hip hop. We weren't there in the parks in the Bronx and stuff like that. So we can't talk about that. What reached us was the record. So that's why we cover it from 79 to 99. We call that recorded history.
recorded history? All right. Let me jump over to this one real quick. Even though he's not here.
Grown heterosexual conversations, Thursday at 9 p.m. He ain't here, but yeah, he's here in spirit.
Right.
Hey, his topic ended up dominating. Look, I'm just telling you right now, we're going to go a little bit in overtime because we definitely need to address this man versus bear thing.
All right. I got...
Hey, do you got those Go Be Alive pictures?
I'm working on it. I'm uploading them right now. That's why I was trying to save her commercial for last. Let me
he's multitasking with his computer acting up. It's probably the government, the man, trying to hold black people down, but you're gonna persevere and fight through it. You're gonna peacefully protest and get it done.
All right, here they come. Let me show a commercial real quick.
go get you some of that black honey. That's gobealive.org. And not just online, she's actually accomplished getting it into a few stores locally. So there goes
Nice.
Sister Nidra. We're gonna have her back on the show. But yeah, so she has it in these 2 stores. I probably should have pulled up the picture myself so I can read it. Let me see what it says. Oh, there you go. So she said, I prayed for this day. Go Be Alive raw honey is now available in 2 stores. Petty Vice, located in Venice, California, and Afro City Marketplace, located in the Crenshaw Mall. So that's what's up. We celebrate black business here on the Focus Show.
Sisters on Crenshaw. She got her honey on Crenshaw in the mall. Shout out to that sister.
Yeah, congratulations, sis.
That's right. You should go handle that. And I want to put this last comment to tie up what Born Alive said. That's the point. The white women give themselves to successful black men in large numbers. So that's probably a big part of what's going on there. So let's get to the first topic. Let's get to this man versus bear thing. You know, first of all, let's shout out to Sister Susan. You know, I probably shouldn't say her last name, but Sister Susan brought up, and she's going to be on the show in the future, not too long off from now. But she brought this up because on TikTok, apparently there was this big debate. And
hold on, nice guy.
Oh, you got it? You got it?
Would you rather be stuck in a forest with a man or a bear?
Bear. Man is scary.
With a bear.
What I've heard about bears, they don't always attack you, right? Unless you like fuck with them. So maybe a bear.
Depends what man, but probably a bear.
100% a bear, which is like terrifying to say, but
Definitely a bear. Some men are very scary out there.
a bear.
I would say a man.
Okay, this is absolutely ridiculous and insulting. You walk by men all the time and probably don't think nothing about it. But if you saw a bear, you would not walk by it and not be extremely conscious of it and be concerned about, you know. So I mean, I think it's ridiculous. I think it is a testament to the fact that we know that, you know, men do a lot of evil, nasty, terrible things to women. They do a lot of evil, nasty things to men. But you know, if you're gonna say what type of men, I'm gonna say what type of bear. Because if it's a grizzly bear, guess what? You ain't making it. Period. That's it. You know, so it bees what it bees. But what's your take on this, Mr. Floyd X? I see you holding your chin like you got something you want to say. We're gonna come back to you first, lady. We're gonna come back to you because the men's gonna get a vent on this, and then we're gonna ask you what your answer to your question, what the answer to the question is. But go ahead, Mr. Floyd X.
It's obviously ridiculous for them to say that and to say a beard. It sounds ridiculous. I don't care what kind of beer it is. They shouldn't want to be nowhere near it, but it's just an insult, man. So I think I'm just gonna leave it there. It's just an insult to men in general.
Yeah. Mad Loke, what you think about that response, female's response to that question? And you heard the question. The question is, what would you rather be stuck in the forest with, a man or a bear?
That shit is so idiotic. It's beneath me to even comment. I was trying to get the context, man. That's some dumb ass. That's some crack ass cracker shit.
Mr. Victor. Victor Gelati, Freeman.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay with this this vibe here. It's definitely idiotic as well as ridiculous. It's male bashing to the nth degree. As you mentioned, Mr. Nice Guy. I mean, obviously you have men who've done terrible things or whatever, but by and large, I would think if you're going to be stuck with one of us, you know, or a grizzly bear, that's a pretty easy decision to make. But you know, this is definitely a topic in which once again we as men are taking it on the chin for just being a man.
And this is why I came to you, the male advocate, last. Everybody set the table perfect for you to retort to this comments. What you got?
It was summed up well. I mean, we know what this is. This is a liberal male bashing, you know, scenario that was proposed, you know, to some of the respondents. But I tell you what, those white women that was at the NFL draft, they would choose a man.
Bars.
Those are bars. Those are definitely bars.
Okay, so First Lady J, let me ask you, what would you rather be stuck? Well, hold on a second. Born Alive's got this response. I guess they prefer that rose they got plugged up in on the socket about a man too. Ouch. So First Lady, what would you rather be stuck in the forest with, a man or a bear? Please explain.
Definitely a no-brainer for me. I definitely would prefer to be stuck with a man. I agree with you all. It's really a dumb question to ask. I guess they say no question is a dumb question, but that darn sure was a dumb question. And just listening to half of those women speak, it makes me wonder if they had a personal issue with men in general, if men have done something to them wrong. I know a lot of women look at men as beasts or animals as well, but some with claws and this and that. I feel like I can fight off a man better than I can fight off a bear.
Right.
So I definitely would prefer to be in the woods with a man. I just think it was just something just so it can go viral. Stupidity goes viral as well.
Let me cap it off with this. Let me say, listen, women and men too. When these people come out there asking y'all questions, don't give no stupid ass answers. Stop making a fool of yourselves in these TikTok videos and these YouTube shorts. You go out there and say some dumb shit and then force people to sit here and talk about your dumb ass.
And we gotta address the flip side, the other TikTok question. The other TikTok question is, do women need men? And those responses were just as ridiculous. I mean, just when someone asks you, do you need a man? Obviously, you don't need a man to live. You don't necessarily need a man to survive. Humanity needs men to survive. But I'm just saying that, obviously that's really not what it's about. It's a function of for what you got planned in life. You tell it's basically relegating the man to just like a luxury. You know what I'm saying? Like
we know that women need men. Come on, we know that. We know that we're the muscle. We're the movers of the earth. We move the earth. We make shit happen. We build shit. We destroy shit. Then we rebuild it again.
Absolutely. What you got to say about this male advocate about do women need men?
Yeah, I mean, clearly the answer is yes. If we're looking at modern times, does a woman necessarily need a man to make a baby? With modern science, we've seen examples to where that is not the case. Do they need a man to be married to? I mean, in this Western civilization in particular, we're seeing that not be the case. But obviously, to procreate, and to have strong functioning families, a man as well as a good woman is essential.
Mr. Victor, what you got to say? I'm coming back to you, First Lady, for a particular reason. But Vic, what do you think about this question? Do women need men?
Yes, absolutely, 100%. Women need men. Not just only from the standpoint of companionship, but also just in terms of like just everyday, functioning. It's a two-way street. Men need women as well. I think just to really make a question as to like, can women be independent? Without men, as has been already noted here. Yes, obviously, a woman can, change a flat tire and and do all the and fix things and mow with things. But wouldn't it be nice, you have a guy that can actually do that for you? We're willing to do that. So but I would say 100%. Women definitely need men. In this world, it would be a pretty lonely existence, I would assume. As a woman, just to navigating through life without some sort of companionship with a man.
Yeah, they just want to be Themyscira. But what's the Mad Loke feel about this?
You know what I don't like? I don't like when Drake says nigga, but other stuff I don't like is I don't like when women assert this real feminist attitude and way about themselves, and I don't need no man and strong. But it's convenient for them to switch back to being feminine, back to being masculine, back to being feminine. When something happens to them, they all of a sudden, where's the protection at? Where's this? But I thought you was that motherfucker though. You know what I mean? It's the contradictory behaviors that a lot of women have on that aspect of just, I don't need this, I don't need that. But then when it's a situation where you can benefit by showing some femininity about yourself, now I want to be back to, I'm soft and I need some direction, I need some help. Well, he couldn't even do this, my tire. No, put your shit on yourself. You know what I mean? That just sparked that in my mind right now. I don't know, bro.
All right, First Lady, let me just ask you, do you think that women need men? Whatever need means.
No, I think women need bears.
Bars.
Truthfully speaking, of course we do. We need each other. That's just the bottom line, you know. We need each other. Women need men. Men need women. God made man and woman. We need each other. And that's all I'm gonna say. I don't feel like I need to say much more. Yes, we need men.